The text hit my phone while I was still unpacking the cabin. Can't believe we're finally doing this. Just us. I smiled, a mix of excitement and nerves twisting in my stomach. Just us met me and her, my old flame, the one I hadn't seen in nearly a decade. A friendship that had cooled into occasional messages. Until now. My partner had encouraged me to go, calling it a platonic trip to reconnect with your past. I told myself it was innocent, harmless. Just a weekend away to clear my head. A chance to remember what it felt like to laugh without stress. The first night was easy. We cooked together, shared wine, and reminisced about college mischief, late-night drives, and dreams we'd abandoned. It felt natural, comfortable, like slipping into an old sweater. And yet, somewhere in the back of my mind, a quiet voice whispered, "Be careful." That voice got louder the next morning. Her phone buzzed constantly, but she kept it face down. She stepped out to take calls that lasted far longer than necessary. I brushed it off. She had a job, responsibilities. But a part of me noticed her hesitation whenever I asked who it was. I started questioning my own paranoia. Was I imagining it? Am I projecting my insecurities onto her? The first sign that something wasn't right came with a vague comment. "Your partner's going to be surprised." I laughed it off, assuming she meant nothing. But as the day went on, subtle things chipped away at my composure. Messages deleted mid-conversation. Her eyes darted to the window, as if expecting someone. Sudden hesitations in our conversations. A smile that didn't quite reach her eyes when I teased her. I felt a growing tension, the kind that tightens your chest and leaves your mind racing. By nightfall, I tried to convince myself I was overreacting. I was here by choice, she was here by choice, and everything was fine. Then my phone vibrated. "Are you ready?" The message was from my partner. My heart skipped. Ready for what? I froze, looking at my old friend. She glanced at me, her expression unreadable. "Something is coming," the look said. Minutes later, headlights swept across the cabin driveway. And then I saw them, my partner and someone I never expected. A familiar face from my partner's past. Someone whose name I hadn't heard in years. Someone who had once been important. Someone whose presence now felt like a deliberate intrusion. I froze, my stomach churning with confusion and dread. My partner stepped out of the car, cheerful, unsuspecting, or so it seemed. Their laughter carried to the night air as the stranger moved beside them, smiling a way that made my chest tighten. A flash of recognition, and then the truth began to crystallize. The platonic trip I had assumed was harmless had been a setup, intentional or not, to see me, test me, or perhaps to draw attention elsewhere. I felt a strange mixture of betrayal and shame. I had told myself I was careful, that boundaries were clear. But as I watched them together, laughter mingling, a spark of something that should have been mine, or so I thought, flickered and disappeared. My mind raced through memories I now questioned. The morning she looked distracted, the late-night texts, the innocent secrets. Had I ignored signs of my partner's own betrayal? I didn't speak at first. I stayed quiet, letting the moment sink in. My old friend noticed my tension and reached out, gently touching my shoulder. "Are you okay?" I nodded, but my throat burned. I couldn't trust my feelings, or even my judgment. By the firelight, I felt the fragility of everything I had taken for granted. Trust, love, loyalty. And I realized the betrayal wasn't cinematic or explosive. It was quiet, layered, and almost imperceptible until the pieces suddenly fit together, leaving me breathless. Later that night, I confronted my partner in private. Their defenses crumbled quickly, explanations tumbling out in nervous, contradictory bursts. They said it was innocent, just a coincidence, that they hadn't meant to hurt me. And part of me wanted to believe it. But the evidence, the laughter, the subtle glances, the history between them, was undeniable. I left the conversation without resolution, walking alone under the stars, the cool night air grounding me as the weight of heartbreak settled in my chest. My mind replayed every detail of the trip, every laugh, every touch, every moment I thought was platonic and safe. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I returned to the cabin, said goodbye to my old friend, thanked her for the memories, and packed my things. I didn't blame her. She had no part in this betrayal, but I felt the bitter clarity of choices and consequences. I drove home in silence, letting the miles clear my thoughts. The pain was raw, yes, but also liberating. For the first time in a long while, I understood the difference between love and respect, desire and trust. I realized that heartbreak could be a teacher, painful but precise. When I returned, I confronted my partner with honesty I hadn't felt in years. Not anger, not accusation, just truth. And when they left, I stayed behind in the quiet apartment, breathing, reflecting, learning that closure wasn't about punishment. It was about knowing my worth, reclaiming my life, and moving forward without fear of repeating the same mistakes. That trip, meant to be harmless, had revealed a hidden fracture in our lives. It hurt like fire, but it also opened a door, the possibility of rebuilding myself, of trusting again, of loving differently. I stepped through it with a quiet strength, knowing that some endings, as painful as they are also beginnings.